Properties of square. So in the previous video, we did properties of rectangles, and we saw that rectangle is also a special type of parallelogram with two additional properties, that all angles are 90 degree, all angles are right angles, and diagonals are congruent. Now with squares, what happens is squares are the most special parallelograms, most special. Squares follow properties, all the properties of parallelogram, all the properties of rectangles, and the properties of rhombus. So let's recall all the properties. Square is a parallelogram, it is also a rectangle, it is also a rhombus. Okay, now if it is a parallelogram, so that means opposite sides will be parallel, opposite sides will be parallel, opposite sides will be congruent, opposite sides will be congruent. And since it is also a rhombus, if you remember the properties of rhombus, in rhombus all four sides were congruent, not just the opposite sides, but all four sides were congruent. Okay, so in a square as well, all four sides will be congruent. Then rectangles had the property that all angles are right angles. So squares will also have all right angles. Then next, diagonals bisect each other. That's the property of parallelogram. Diagonals will bisect each other. So this will be equal to this will be equal to this, and diagonals are congruent. That was the property of rectangles. Okay, so if diagonals are congruent and they bisect each other, so all of these will be, all these lengths will be congruent. And if you remember the property of rhombus, the diagonals used to bisect each other at right angles. So these angles will be right angles. Then consecutive angles are supplementary, and here diagonals bisect opposite angles. Okay, so diagonals also bisect opposite angles. So in squares, see the total angle is 45 degrees, but it is bisected by the diagonals. So all of these will be 45, 45, 45, 45. All these angles will be 45, 45 degrees. These are the properties of squares, and of course all of these triangles will be isosceles triangles. And now all of these triangles will be special isosceles triangles. They will be 45, 45, 90 triangle. Okay, now let's do some questions based on properties of squares. So here we have a square PQRS with TR equals 17. So TR is 17. We have to find out PR. We have to find out all of these lengths and angles. Okay, so first is PR. Now, so PR is the diagonal, and we know that the diagonals bisect each other. So PR will be actually twice of TR. So twice of 17, which will be 34. QT. QT will be also 17. See, all of these will be same. 17, 17, 17. That's the property. Then PQ. This is PQ. Now to find out PQ, you have to realize that this angle, this triangle is a right triangle. Okay. And it's a special right triangle. See, now you can either apply Pythagorean theorem to find out PQ, or you can use the fact that this is a 45, 45, 90 triangle. Okay, so and this PQ is nothing but the hypotenuse. So hypotenuse is 17 times square root of 2. Okay, that's your special right triangle. So that is gonna give you 24.04. Then we have measure of angle PRS. So PRS is this angle. We know that's 45 degrees because angles are bisected. Then STR, STR is this angle, well, that is going to be 90 degrees because diagonals bisect at right angles. Next, we have this question. We have to find out the value of x. Now, this angle has been given. See, this is a square that's given in the question. We have to find out the value of x. Now, you know that these angles are 45 degrees. So, it's very simple. You just have to put 7x plus 3 equals to 45. 7x will be equal to 45 minus 3. That's 42. So, x is equal to 6. Now here SW is 2x plus 3. Okay, so this is 2x plus 13. Then WV is this. That's 8x minus 41. We have to find out VT. So VT is the diagonal. And so obviously VT will be twice of VW. So if we find out VW, we just have to multiply that by 2 and we'll get the value of VT. Now to find out the length of VW, we first need to solve for x. And how will you solve for x? See, your SW will be congruent to WV. So 2x plus 13 is equal to 8x minus 41. So you'll get 6x minus 41 is equal to 13. And that means 6x will be equal to 54. That means x will be equal to 9. So your VW will be equal to 8 times 9 minus 41. So 8 times 9, that's 72, minus 41, which will be 31. So VT will be 2 times 31, which is 62.